I'm off home.
Okay, just go.
Yeah, since you've got so many PS5 games, I was wondering if I could borrow one.
I don't actually have that many games, you know, only a few actually. When I complete one, I'll send it your way.
Selfish, man.
I'm not selfish. I only have a couple of games.
Okay. He thinks he can take
My games. I don't know who.
Hey, bro, I
thinks
forgot I
he
had
is.
your keys. Here are some of my top 10 PS5 games that are a must play on the PlayStation 5. In number 10, now my expectations were very, very low when this was announced, and because of...
Fuck you! May God have mercy on your soul.
Fuck you! But they are different developers. Guardians of the Galaxy was a very, very surprising game. It's an original story and you play as Star-Lord. Star-Lord! You do not play as any of the other characters, but I believe this was a very good move from the developers. You do have control of the other characters in this game and you can use them for their different abilities, and it is a very, very story-driven game. Yeah, the comedy, the humor, the relationship between all of these characters are absolutely hilarious, and for them to actually pull it off and have a really quirky, fun dynamic between everyone was very surprising to me because of the movies, because how could you top that? But they did. As I said, it's a very story-driven game, but the only problem with this game, the cutscenes are really long. I just want to dive into a game and start playing, and some of these cutscenes are as long as 4 minutes. And I was like, okay, enough with the talking, I get it, I want to play, let me play the game please. All I will say is do not let Avengers put you off, because they did a really good job in this game. If you don't mind a bit of cutscenes to set the story, you're gonna love it. Number 9. Let's just say the reviews on this game was unbelievable, but it's not a game that I would actually think I would want to play. It received ridiculous awards, and that is Hades. It's an action-packed roguelike title with immense fast-paced action and alongside an amazing story. You are the son of Hades, Zagreus, and you want to escape the underworld, and the other gods from Olympus are all trying to help you out with abilities, perks, but death is a part of this game. You have to fight your way through some intense boss battle rooms and a variety of enemies. You earn points, you get upgrades, you learn about the levels, and as you keep dying, you keep repeating and repeating the levels, but it's just so addictive. It is so addictive. It might be a game you might think you're not going to get addicted to, but it is. You get stronger, you own different weapons, different abilities to see what you can do to beat all of these bosses. You meet some iconic villains in this game, and if you're someone who can't play the PlayStation for 2-3 hours at a time, I tend to find the time for that. You could literally just pick up, play 10-15 minutes, and then boom, you can have a break. Number 8. One of the most colourful games you will see on the PlayStation 5. And that is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Now this was one of the most hyped games for the PlayStation 5. When I say this is a next generation game, it is. There's not many games out there that makes the most out of the PS5 haptic feedback and the adaptive triggers, and wow, does this game do that. You get so many different weapons in this game and it is just madness. Every weapon will feel so different in your hand. It is a lot of fun, the story is really cool, but the different worlds you go on is unbelievable. My favorite part of this game is when you've got these skates on and you can kind of glide across worlds. And wow, does that feel unbelievable in your hand. Apart from Astro's Playroom, that is the only other game that takes advantage of the PS5, and that is a game that's free with the console. The only problem I would say about this game is that as soon as I completed it, I did not feel the need to play it again. So it feels a bit wasted in that front, but nevertheless, it is a game you will want to play. Number 7. This feels like the Zelda of the PlayStation 5. Kena, Bridge of Spirits. This is a game that is all about the adventure. The art style, the music, the sound effects. It is a really, really amazing game. But you play as Kena and you're a spirit guide, and you have to guide these lost spirits to the afterlife. It has a lot of puzzles. It has a lot of thinking involved. You have to be very, very patient with this game. It can get frustrating. If you're someone who gets pissed off after like 10 minutes of a game and you're like, what do I do? That's it, I'm going on YouTube. You can get a bit frustrated with this game where I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. What do I do? And it is not a very long game either. There's a lot of other things you can do with little side missions. It feels semi-open world. It's very linear, but it feels open world because you can explore over there, you can explore over there. Make sure you check this game out. And in number 6, why am I saying it like this? Probably the most terrifying game that I've ever played in my life. That is Resident Evil Village. It is fucking scary. You shall not play this in the dark with headphones on. Make sure you do. When I say there is some jump scares in this game, yes, there is. If you're someone who just cannot play scary games, it's a shame because this is a beautiful game. It plays so nicely with the PS5. It utilizes the haptic feedbacks with the different weapons you get. Story is brilliant if you're familiar with the Resident Evil games. This is a game worth picking up. I think I played it through around 4 times because some of the places you go, it's just beautiful. You just want to explore. The graphics were so good that all I wanted to do in the castle was just explore. And when I did wipe out all of the enemies in there, all I did for about half an hour was just look around. It was incredible. There's one bit in this game which is probably the most fucking terrifying thing I've ever seen in a video game. And that is no lie. But just be prepared. Be prepared. Bring back memories. On to my top 5 games. The first game I wasn't too keen on. I was really invested with the story. The game that you must play is Horizon Forbidden West. It is an incredible story. I understand when some of you say that it just doesn't work for you in terms of machines. You've got all these animal looking like machines and they're taking over the world. But when I say the story is amazing in this game, and I forced myself to play the first one because of how good the story was and because I wanted to play the second one. The second one just feels so much more polished. The controls feel smooth. Navigating areas and understanding what you can jump on, what you can climb on is a lot easier with some really good improvements. The first one was just very frustrating at times and I just wanted to complete it. This is one of the best games of the year. It might not be the game of the year, but it's one of the best games of the year. And I absolutely love it. I haven't completed it yet because there's just too many damn games in 2022. You play as Aloy, a warrior who has the responsibility to save the world from a killing artificial intelligence. Yes, I wrote that down because I wouldn't have been able to remember that. Number 4. There are 2 games to this, and I was wondering, should I just put them all in one bracket? So I am. SpiderMan and SpiderMan Miles Morales. These games are unbelievable on the PlayStation 5. This is one of the best Spider-Man games of all time, if not the best. I love them both. The way Insomniac Games have designed their games is unbelievable. You literally feel like Spider-Man. Swinging through the city just feels so fucking good. You feel like a boss and all you want to do is just swing, climb, beat up some enemies. The story is amazing. Choreography of some of the moves is unbelievable. I do prefer Spider-Man Miles Morales, but it's very short. It's more like a DLC, and they kind of sold it on a full game, which it really fucking isn't. It's a DLC. Nevertheless, Miles Morales has some very cool powers. There is going to be a 3rd game in the making, and Venom's going to be in it. Spoiler, sorry about that. It's not really a spoiler, it's on the trailer. Number 3. Now, some of you will not like these games. One of the hardest games I've ever played in my life. It felt such an accomplishment when I was able to beat it. And that is Demon Souls. This is not a game for everyone because they are known to be very fucking hard games. This was one of these games that you look at and you're like, wow, you're a knight, you're a magician, you can be whatever you want to be, there's different classes. You have to beat one level all at once, otherwise you die and you go back to the start of that level. That can be very frustrating. When I first played this game, I agreed to myself that, no, Anton, you are gonna make sure you stay calm. You stay calm. And then by the time you know it, I've taken the disc out and I'm like, what are you doing? You said you wouldn't get annoyed. But the first time I played this game, I picked a magician where you can actually have like a wand and you can have a ranged attack where it's a lot easier than trying to go on hand-to-hand combat. And it was a lot easier to kind of pick enemies from afar. Now, when I played the game 2nd, 3rd time, I wanted to challenge myself, so I was a knight, so it was all about hand-to-hand combat. But this is one of the best games I've played on the PlayStation 5. This is made for the PlayStation 5, and it is just simply amazing. If you're someone who wants to feel tested as a gamer, can I beat this game? You have to give the game a respect. If you don't, the game's just gonna shit on you and you're gonna break your disc. Number 2. This game has only just come out, but I am absolutely lost in this game. I've played about 4 or 5 hours of the game and I am addicted, and that is Elden Ring. It's very hard, but this is more open world. You have a guidance when you play the game and it tells you where to go on the map. But I was stuck on the first boss, so I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna go and do what I want. And that is the beautiful thing about this game. This is probably one of the best open world games there are, because there are other open world games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but they are not open world because they are still linear. But this, you can literally travel wherever you want and you can just explore. And that's what I love about the game. I'm leveling up, I'm trying to get better, I'm understanding enemies, the combat is amazing, but I'm learning how to find different weapons and use them, and it is brilliant. I absolutely love this game. I've actually stopped playing Horizon for a bit because I wanted to complete Horizon, but then I thought, no, I just really want to play Elden Ring. If you're looking to just play an hour of a game, yeah, you know what, this game ain't for you. You've got to play for a couple of hours, I'm not gonna lie. If you like mythical creatures and magic and wizardry, it is ridiculous. Number 1. This wasn't a hard choice for me because I racked up over 100 hours of this game, and that is... I gave this game a perfect 10 out of 10. This was one of the best games I have ever played in my life, and that is no lie. From the story, from the combat, from the controls, from the adaptive triggers, it is a masterpiece. They have done so well with this game. You play as Jin Sakai, and you are a samurai. The Mongolians have taken over your land, and you must save your uncle and save your world. And it is just perfect. You feel like a samurai. You feel so good when you are coming up against enemies and you are blocking, you are parrying, and you are killing all of these enemies. Every side quest in this game is like a main quest. It is open world and you have little things that you can go around and do. I wanted to complete everything. I wanted to complete every little side quest because I was so invested with each character. They were memorable. 100 hours on a game like that. Yeah, 100 hours. I have no life. Even in the DLC, they add in some other features that you think, wow, they didn't even put this in the main game. They saved this for the DLC. This is a must play. Comment below and let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video.